What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are building a splitter for our 1990 DA Integra, and you're going to want to stay tuned for this one. Woohoo! All right, so as you know, we're going to be doing a splitter on our DA Integra. We're going wheel-to-wheel racing next year, and we need some extra downforce. We have a monster carbon fiber wing ordered, 69 inches for this car. So we need some front downforce to counteract the weight of all the rear that we're going to be having. We're going from a 50-inch wing to a 69. So yeah, going to go over all the ins and outs. This is my first time ever building a splitter. I've watched quite a few videos. I'm kind of taking the best parts, I think, from each video that I've watched and kind of throwing it into my project here. So if you have a DA Integra or any other type of car that you want to put a splitter on, I think this video might be pretty informative for you. So I'm going to go over all the things that you're going to need and some things you can maybe get away with and maybe spend a little bit less money on. But we're going to kind of do this one, I would say, like the upper echelons of the price range as far as building a DIY splitter. So the very first thing I would do, I would measure your bumper width. Most people probably going to need a 4x8 sheet of plywood. I don't think you can get away with a 4x4 most cars today. So go to your local Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever you got. Pick yourself up some 1/2 inch. I would say probably want to go with birch. It's a little bit harder, a little bit more durable. So 1/2 inch birch, 4x8 sheet of plywood. That should do you quite nicely. And then what I did now is I measured the width here. I got 66.5 inches. I'm going to add a few inches on each side just so that way it comes out. And then, so I'm going to go to like 72 probably. And that should at least give us plenty of width to work with where we can get shaping, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's a pretty good starting point, I would say, for probably most cars, is right around that 70 to 72, depending on your car. In this case, that's probably where I'm going to start. I'm just going to make a cut across there, and then I'm going to go probably 4 inches out on here, all the way around till here, and then I'm going to have it cut kind of back in, because you don't want 4 inches probably hanging out here. I don't know, a couple inches would probably be fine. I like to maybe get it out just outside this tire, because I might throw like a canard or something on there to kick the wake of the wind up over. I think that'll help a lot with aero, that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you a couple of the other things you're going to want. All right, next thing you're going to want here is some angle iron. This is out of aluminum. This is actually 1.5 inches. And then it's 96 inches long. It's aluminum, and it's 1/16 of an inch thick. So that's probably what I would use. I'm going to show you how, once we get everything cut, what we're going to use this for. This is basically going to be our backer. And I do have some other stuff on order. I have not received it yet. It'll probably be a couple weeks. So I'm going to just work on getting this situation all accomplished. And then once our mounts and all that stuff come, we'll show you guys that too. So to keep this as generic as possible and as easy for you guys to do, I'm going to do pretty much this whole project with a tool that most people have, and that's a jigsaw. It's probably not ideal for this. Actually, I know it's not ideal. I would 100% use like a circular saw, like a skill saw or something to cut this. But for the sake of me doing this DIY for you guys, we're going to do it with one saw on the entire thing. Jigsaw. So I'm going to cut this on our 72-inch line. And don't be a loser. Pick up your work environment here. We're going to do a little vacuuming quick. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to move your piece of plywood over underneath your car, whether it's on jack stands or whatever. Maybe prop it up on some 2x4s if you're on doing it on jack stands, that sort of thing. And you're going to want to lower the car down onto it. So most cases, you're probably going to want to pull your wheels off, probably make it a lot easier. So we're going to pull the wheels off, and then we're going to drop the car down on the piece of plywood and then make our stencil from there. All right, so basically from here, what we're going to do is kind of position the wood so it's fairly even on both sides. I'm going to probably push the piece of wood back more so we don't waste a bunch of it. Actually, you know what I might do? I might actually pull it forward to where I think I may end up having some rear supports in the back. I'll put it to the edge of that, and then I'll leave myself plenty of room up front here where I can kind of, you know, make my shape how I want. So we'll do that, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so I have it pretty much positioned where I want it. It's very close. It's within probably a 1/16 of an inch from this side to that side. So that's close enough for what we're working with here. This is art. This doesn't have to be with 100% perfect tolerances. So you have a little bit of give here. So don't sweat it too much if it isn't quite perfect. So I'm basically going off a little bit distance off of my outer tie rod, off the bolt there. So I have measured it off of that to get my perfect spot. And I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start making some marks off of my front lip. I'm going to use a tape measure and probably, actually, you know what? I might even use a speed square possibly. That might work out pretty well. But I'm going to probably position off this edge here. Probably, I'm going to say 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And then I'm going to slowly work my way out to 5 once I get, you know, further out here. And then 4. And then I'm going to keep that pretty consistent all the way around until I get to the other side. So yeah, I think we're going to go with a 4-inch. I think that'll be pretty good size-wise. It should counteract the big wing we got coming in. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to trace out in here where I want it cut out. Looking under here, I can see, you know, right now it's at full deflection pretty much all the way down. So I should never have to worry about this traction bar making contact with it. So it looks like the lowest point is definitely going to be the header. So as long as I'm clear, you know, out here, nowhere out in this area, should be good. But I think we're going to probably take it in to maybe like somewhere in this area and then cut it back just to make sure we got plenty of room there for the wheel and all the suspension components. Don't have to worry about anything. All right, so one tool I want to mention, this will make your life a whole hell of a lot easier if you have a drywall square. Oh my God, so much easier. So what I did was I was able to position this right at the edge of my wheel well, get it kind of right where I wanted it, you know, where I want it to end. Made a line, went back into there, and then I took the square and ran it inside of here where the width I wanted it. And yeah, I just made a line, connected the dots, and now I have a nice area that I know where I can cut out. So yeah, drywall square, the cat's pajamas for this. And yes, I'm patenting that saying, so you can't use it. So ha. All right, so I ended up going 1 inch outside of the lip. I figured it would look probably dumb if I went any more than that, and I just think it would be pointless. So 1 inch is what I ended up doing out here, and then I got my other side squared up. As far as the line back here goes, what I ended up lining it up with was I centered it with this bolt here, so my line goes back that way. I did it on both sides, so I got my lines there, and now I can start putting my marks around the front bumper. Okay, so what I ended up doing, I couldn't find my speed square here, so what I did was I took a freaking level and I just cut it small, and I leaned it up against there, and then I made a really small construction pencil, and what I did was I just kind of stuck it there and I pushed this thing all the way around until I got my, you know, line for the edge of the splitter. So what I'll be able to do then off that is measure off of that and put my measurements, you know, maybe do it like every inch or so all the way around, and then I'll be able to connect the dots and get it to the shape that I want and be pretty close within, you know, probably, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch all the way around, maybe even less. So pretty cool. All right, so I got it all traced out here. It's basically going to come out from here, come around. I used a like protractor thing here to kind of get a nice rounded edge going. And it goes all the way around. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the piece of plywood off, use our jigsaw, and cut it up. I do it for the gram.
You're unplugged.
Cue explosions. It's a heavy duty, man.
That's what happens when you have bad OCD.
All right, so she is all cut out. We are going to end up routering the edge, so that way it's real nice. But what I ended up doing was just flipping it over because this edge was a lot better. But we'll probably router both sides just for that niceness. But we're going to set it back up under there and see how she fits. All right, so this is kind of how it's going to sit here. Kind of see we got basically an inch from here to here. Nice cut back into the wheel well. And then we have 4 inches from here to here. So that'll give us some good downforce. All right, so after careful consideration, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut this straight across just because I have to keep this thing so dang low because of how low this header is that I'm gonna have a massive gap here. I mean, I'm talking probably like almost 5 inches. So yeah, I'm better off cutting that out, and then I can keep it as tight as possible underneath here, where then I'm only gonna need probably like maybe a 2-inch piece. So I think that's gonna be my best course of action because I'm just worried that with this being so close to the header, even if I keep it, you know, gapped out a bit, is a slight chance that I could start a fire or totally burn the hell out of this thing. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut it across here, and I might even do a little notch because of where the header is here, just to give it a little bit more clearance. But I think that's going to be the plan. All right, so the next thing we did was we made a duplicate, a stencil. Makes it really nice when you go to router the edge. So you make basically the exact same thing, clamp it together, and then your guide wheel on your router has something to ride on. If you don't have a router, you can use like an angle grinder to bevel this, but a router is the hot ticket for this project. Oh yeah, giving her a nice edge there, looking pretty good. All right, so we got this edge all routered up, looks pretty good. Let's see there, heck yeah. I didn't do this section here just because it's gonna get caught off anyways, but I did try this setup on my brother-in-law's EP3, and with the K-Series motor, this works perfectly fine because the engine's reversed and the header comes out the back. So you could leave this on there for extra aero to keep the wind attached to the bottom, or the air attached to the bottom side of the car. So if you have like an EP3 or something with a K-swap, maybe leave this on there. That might actually help you quite a bit. All right, so in the last little bit there, you showed how we routered. It's been about a month and a half now. I have not touched the car or the splitter at all. We've been doing pit bike stuff, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna show you what the next steps are gonna be on how we're gonna fit this splitter on there. And we did get our professional awesome mount kit quite a while ago now. So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna go about doing that. All right, so in our kit, there's 2 of them in here. We are going to need to mount them up in here. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to pull the traction bar off, and I may even have to possibly pull the radiator out of here because for me to get my nutsert tool in there, it's got really big jaws. This radiator hose might be in the way. So we'll see, but I'll get the traction bar out of the way first and figure out where these are gonna go. We got our quick releases for those. There's the other part that actually mounts to the splitter. And then also we have our carbon splitter rods. and the hardware for that as well. So a pretty cool setup for sure. So the next steps I did were mounting these brackets. I used my nutsert installation tool. This guy right here, I just drilled holes and then put some M8 by 125 bolts in. I only did 2 so far. See them up in there? I'm gonna try and get 4 in there total. And I got the quick release mount brackets on here as well. When we were adjusting the height of this, we're trying to keep it as tight as we can under here, but also leaving us room for the header. I decided I may actually keep this on here, and we might just heat tape it possibly, because we got about this much of a gap between the wood and the header, which it might be okay. Worst case, we can always just notch it around where the header is. I haven't decided if I'm going to use my splitter rod supports yet, or if I'm going to build some brackets for the back here, but we'll figure that out once we get everything mounted. As far as this goes, we got our Professional Awesome quick release mounts on there, countersunk slightly into the wood. So we just used an impact and ran them up in there, and it kind of sucked them into the wood. So we should be good there. Now we're going to lower the car down onto this and see how everything kind of lines up.
Yep.
Okay, so we're sitting fairly level. We are hitting on the back flange back there. We're gonna have to probably cut a little bit of the wood for sure to make it fit, but I'm wondering, we may have to use our splitter rods on this. I wasn't expecting this to move as much as it is. I've seen some people don't even run anything, but yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do something here to get this thing to fit better. Like I said before, I could make a bracket off of here for it to slide into. That might work pretty well also. So I decided to go with the splitter rods. That's what we're going to use on this setup here. What I did was welded some bolts onto here. I didn't want to pull the bumper off and go from the top side down. It's just too much of a pain in the butt. So I just tacked some bolts under there, and then these just finesse right on there just like that. You drop it down in there and it's gone forever. But yeah, it just threads on just like that basically. What we need to do now is cut the rods to length and then put the lower bracket on here. And these are quick release also with a pin, so that way when you want to pull the splitter off, you pull the pin, pop it, and good to go. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
No.
All right, so we ended up getting these mounted. As I showed you before, we welded that on, ran the carbon rod down, and put the hardware through. Actually very, very simple. Used a hacksaw to cut these. So yeah, DJ, give her a little shake. How does she look now? Oh yeah, that thing was floppy cheese DICK before that, and now it's good and solid. So be able to tighten everything up. Obviously, I got the radiator cocked in there sideways because I couldn't get the nutserts in without pulling the radiator up, but I'm going to tidy everything up, get the rest of the nutserts in on the sides that I need, and pretty much this will be ready for paint, and then we can put the air dam on, and we'll be all set. Race car stuff. Figured I'd show you guys what it looked like on the ground. It's not even all the way lowered, it's just down a ways, and it's looking just absolutely sexy. Benny is in love. What do you think, buddy? Come here. What do you think? What is that? What is that? Oh, is there snacks in there? Yes, there is. So we are moving right along. I got it painted. It's looking pretty sick, nice and durable. Really like the looks of it so far. We are about 3 inches from the ground there. It looks like it's off tilted there. It's because the floor is sloped towards the drain. But yeah, I measured it's about 3 inches from the floor to the bottom of the splitter. So we don't have a whole lot of room underneath it. Definitely gonna need to take that off for transporting a car on the trailer, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. As far as the air dam goes, I ended up ordering a race bred components aluminum air dam kit from them. Hopefully we'll see that here in the coming days so that we can get that on. And that's really all I got to do to finish up the splitter. The car is almost completed for this upcoming race season, and I am super happy that I really won't have to touch this car then pretty much the whole winter. I can focus on pit bikes, focus on other things I like to do. Still gonna be coming out with videos, that sort of thing, but yeah, it'd be nice to have like all the main things that I have to do to this car done and ready to go for next season. So yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, once that air dam kit comes in the next few days here, we'll get that thrown on as well. We just got our parts in from Racebred Performance. This is our air dam. I'm gonna get her unpackaged here and see what all it includes. It looks like they got hardware and some kind of seal strip and stuff. So I'll get her unpackaged and we'll get her figured out. Everything is unboxed. A couple of things we get here. They send some nice, looks like stainless hardware. So that should be pretty cool. I don't have to go to the hardware store and buy any. And got some type of seal. Not sure 100% where that'll go yet. We'll figure it out. Comes with a sticker. They sent some organic gummy bears, and then it's 2 separate air dam pieces that you get, and these are aluminum, and I think the total length between the 2 of them was 96 inches total. All right, so what we did, we had the splitter on there. We kind of held this up against the front bumper, and then we'll just kind of show here where the lines are. What we're gonna do is basically put it kind of right along the line and drill some holes through right where each one of these is, and then run these up through the bottom with a nut on the top side. So it should be pretty simple. So we got the first one partially bolted down. We just skipped every 2 holes for now, just that way we got it on there. And I just barely tightened this last one so it'll move. Now we're gonna put the splitter back on and then trace our line then with the other one, so that way we get a nice perfect apex again on there. This is kind of what it's looking like so far. I'm probably not going to use the sealer stuff they sent with. I don't even really know if it's necessary. What I might end up doing instead, I might throw some silicone as a bead on the inside, just so that way we don't get any air slipping through each one of these little holes, because there is actually, and I can't really tell with the camera, but you can see light through each one of these. So I'll just probably run a bead of silicone, like I said, on the back side, and that'll seal it right up. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna butt that up against it. He's gonna hold it while I trace it, and then we are gonna have to cut some off of that end as well. All right, so we took it back off, and now I'm basically gonna go through and kind of push in where I need to, re-drill or drill all the holes and put the rest of the bolts in, and then she'll be able to go back on. I ended up getting all the bolts in. I got it pushed in a little bit in the spots that it needed to be done at. I just had to use a 1/4-inch drill bit, and then I used my impact on the bottom side. That's what it looks like underneath. Use my impact on the bottom side and put a socket on here, and I just tighten them all down, and it's honestly super easy. Highly recommend the Racebred air dam kit. And I was kind of concerned maybe that it wouldn't be like stiff enough, but dude, this thing is so solid, like way better than any garden edging trim that you could fab up. Like, this is rock solid. You could literally damn near hang the car from this thing. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna pop it back up there, and then we'll lower it down and see what she looks like. Hot damn, that thing turned out so good. What do you think, Benny? Oh man, whew. That looks absolutely amazing, super aggressive. I love it. Benny loves it too. He just won't admit it, he's a little shy. But yeah, that looks so good. I didn't show you guys yet really why we did this much aero in the front, but the reason is this right here. This is a 69-inch wing. If you've seen the previous video, we do have a video of us putting this on, but I started on the splitter way before I even got this. This splitter kit has been like a couple month project. So yeah, that is why we went with such a big splitter. And why we did the splitter was because we did such a massive wing in the rear. This thing's gonna put about 400 to 450 pounds of rear downforce on. So we definitely needed to step it up in the front to make sure we got a real good balance. And man, That bad girl looks good. Super stoked to get this thing out on track. Cannot wait. Want to give you guys a view from underneath so you kind of can see what it looks like. Nice and flat underneath here. That's going to really help out. What I'm actually going to do to protect, I figured out what I'm going to do to protect it from the exhaust. I'm going to put a piece of stainless on here. I'm just going to probably screw it on, rivet, something like that. But that's what's going to protect this piece of wood from the exhaust. But yeah, that is the game plan. So I'm pretty much just going to finish this thing up here. And oof, late night tonight. Just happy to have this done. Been here most of the weekend working on pit bikes and working on this. So happy to get it done. And I want to give a shout out to all my buddies that helped me with this. Just coming in at night to help me work on it, you know, when they didn't have to. So it's been a long couple month project. Super stoked we finally got it done. So thank you to everybody that helped. And thank you guys for watching this. And I hope you like the content. We'll be doing some more car stuff obviously this winter. And we're gonna do a bunch of pit bike stuff too. So if you guys could please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. Yeah, I just really want to grow this channel. If you guys want something special, comment down below. If you have any questions on where I got any of this stuff, also comment down below. If you have any questions on hardware, you know, drill bits, anything like that, I can pretty much answer all your questions if you guys just comment down below. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So if you guys could do all those things I mentioned before, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Woohoo!